You can be busy all you want, but if you're not creating progress, you're not helping the business. So when that transition is a moment you're very proud of, you then start to see the value that the business creates for all the people in the value chain. For us being manufacturers, there are many people involved in our process. For me to sell an immunity booster and take it to Fieka Pharmacy and take it to Fast Pharmacy, for them to appreciate it because it has an NDA notification, it speaks into the quality that we've built in the product. And you don't really make quality, it is built in the process. So because it is built, it has people that really start that process. And that's for all of us as business owners, as leaders. You need to appreciate the different stakeholders that are actually valuable to your business, because sometimes we forget that value. And all those people that are valuable to your business, you need to appreciate how they come in and the value that they actually create. So to the farmers, and until you go down and really see that somebody is relying on your business to take their kids to school, they have built themselves a home thanks to the fact that they're not just mere suppliers, but they are real partners that add value to the value chain you are actually pushing. So those stories really inspire you and you remain very proud of them because they are real stories. They are not very far from us. They are not distant. So when you really get to talk to these people, you realize that they are actually lives behind the efforts to do fair pricing with the suppliers to ensure that you really treat them fairly as well because they contribute to your business. And to also try to make them better, improve how they judge quality, because every time you refuse a supply, it's damage to their business as well because they have to travel back and get something better. So we've taken it upon ourselves to ensure that sometimes you need to train your suppliers or your farmers on what you consider quality. How do they dry the hibiscus they supply you? How do they handle the hibiscus? How do they check for moisture content so that by the time they deliver to you, you then have something you can consider and take up. That way you pay them, there's value for value. And then when that crosses over into the business, there are many other stakeholders involved. But every time you appreciate those farmers because there's value to them. The other thing I would like to end with in terms of what I'm really, really proud of is the baby steps in the process of transition. And one may even ask at what time you are out of the transition because you're never sure if you're actually out of the transition or you're still transiting. But what's important is for all of us as leaders in our businesses not to confuse movement for progress. Just because you're very busy, you're up and about, you need to actually look at the things that count, like what statistics or what figures or what values actually mean progress for you in your business. You can be busy all you want, but if you're not creating progress, you're not helping the business. So in the next year, we have now resolved to actually look at more ways that Aloysia Organic can build from within, not just from the sales and all these other collaborations that you may be having, but then the concept of business development. Which other partnerships and collaborations can you use to leverage and then tap into opportunities that still exist? The ISO certification, which has been talked about, if you can look for a partner that can be able to support in that, well and good, and you're not having to pay for that. So it's a humble journey, baby steps, but I'm proud of each and every step we are taking because for me, I am closer to the better times. So.
Wow.